So it's kind of bittersweet because, well, I guess I just had no clue when I first submitted. This is my first submission. I have received a couple books earlier, however, it was just sporadic here and there, onesie twosies. But this is all part of my first submission, which I had very little idea of exactly how it worked. I mean, zero idea, to be quite frank with you. And I was so excited when I dropped them off at a con, small con in Rhode Island, because I was like, I'm gonna find out what my books are worth, and the market was hot, things were rocking and rolling, everybody was rich on their comic books, and I was like, I came out of the, closet from 25 years or 20 years of not collecting. I'm like, yeah, things are hot, I gotta find out what my books are worth. Well, that was either late July or early August of last year. So 14 plus or minus months later, from the time I handed it to a CGC representative that is independent representative that does their own pressing and submissions, and I finally have received them. I've got 2 boxes. I got one here. I'll do the other one after. I'll probably make a number of mistakes because I'm going to try to pull out the first book without looking at it. Honest to God, I don't even remember what's submitted other than mostly Silver Surfer, because that's mostly what I care about. So anyway, I'm going to get into it. While I get into it, I apologize for if it's low quality. For a number of our videos that we did earlier, we just did a handful, but I did them with my daughter. We had a lot of fun. She's a little more techie than I am. She's, she had lighting, she had microphones, all sorts of, great stuff. I've got my cell phone, it's propped up over there, and it's an 80% chance it's going to fall over. So if we make it, life is good. All right, so I have to admit, I'm still a little excited because these are books that I care about. So one of the things I wanted to mention is like the difference between the market now and the market then, right? So the market then was smoking, right? Now, of course, because we're in the middle of a recession or worse, inflation's through the roof, blah, 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 you've all heard it, but of course it hits everything. There's no such thing, I don't care if it's gold, I don't care if it's silver, there's no such thing as inflation proof. Now, are some things better than others? Yes. I tend to believe comic books are better than others, but they're still going to get a beating in the short term, and maybe they'll return better. So anyway, for me, one of the things that I was going to mention is the practicality of slabs. So, one of the things I've learned, I've been watching a lot of videos on YouTube over the past, year. Learned a lot, and so a lot of the guys and girls out there are very sharp and very good, intuitive, experienced, etc. But one of the things that I noticed is a lot of the slab openings, are resellers, people that are getting slabs all the time. What's good about that is, hey, they've always got content and we've always got something to watch. What's bad about it is, they're business people. So that's great. I'm a business person, right? So that's great, but they don't have that excitement in their face when they, get some, they know they're going to make a couple bucks, that type of excitement, which is good, but they're just churning and burning. So I've been searching for videos like mine here, just a bunch of cheesies like myself that are, I don't know, in it for a whole different reason. And, I guess I'm a collector. I've got 5,000 books, so I guess I'm also an investor. But I collect Silver Surfer, and the other 4,500 books or whatever that I have are, theoretical investments. But I haven't sold in 30 years, so I don't know what that means. All right, let me see if I can figure this one out first. Make sure I don't make a mistake. I'm going to put my hands on both. Okay, so yeah. So it looks like I didn't screw up, which is pretty good. So this looks like a Radioactive Man, and I totally forgot, because most of these are Silver Age, but I do have a bunch of these, as well as a bunch of the Simpsons #1, just because, again, like, in the 90s, I was doing a lot of specking like everybody else, just because it was like last year and the year before, crazy. All right, anyway, let's talk more rock. All right, I can't see it. 9.6. All right, I have to be honest with you. Anything that's like a modern book like this, I'm sending in for a 9.8. And what I mean by that is, like, I'm going to solve these ones critically to pay for, the ones that I'm going to keep. I'm not going to complain about a 9.6. 9.6 is good, right? But it's the 9.8 that I was after. So one of the mistakes I made when I first submitted these books, I had no idea the difference. I mean, I knew one was like, I really didn't have a comprehension of the whole thing. So I would look at the book and go, hey, that's pretty good, right? And submit it. That's what I did at that con. I'm a lot sharper now with the understanding and comprehension of it all. And so I may have had a different radioactive man that I would have submitted had I paid attention. Back then I just grabbed like 35 books, brought them with me to the con, and I was excited that there was somebody there that would take them, right? Those days are over. All right, so let's see what we got here. Oh, that is the Bartman. All right, so same thing goes here. If this isn't a 9.8, I'm bummed. If it's a 9.6, I mean, great. What do we got? Strike two. So, yeah, so again, in full disclosure, because I have multiple copies of a number of these and because they were spec type books, the whole point for me was I never read them. And like, if I did read the comic, well, I got 6 of them, 7 of them, 5 of them, 3 of them, whatever. So I only read one of them. The other ones have never been opened unless somebody else opened it while I was at the store. But, one of the things I got like a little note here on my notes that I think graders, at CGC or any of these such places, they're sort of like appraisers, underwriters in the mortgage or insurance industry, assessors, things of that nature. There's objective rules, right? But there's subjectivity because they're human beings. And, it's kind of the luck of the draw who you get. Am I saying those are 9.8s? Honest to God, I'm not even going to look them over because I'm not good enough to know. However, I am saying that if you get somebody who is better qualified, somebody who is not just trying to prove, hey, I'm being, very cautious, you have a better chance. I mean, you do, just generally speaking, because the difference between a 9.6 and a 9.8 is pretty negligible. So for me, I'm just kind of hoping that, I always get the right person. It looks like, that I must have submitted more. You know what? I'm wondering, because I gave some books. This is funny. This is a funny story. All right, let me show the grade here first. Oh, did the wrong hand. 9.8 finally. So I was surprised to see either of those books at first because I thought this was my 14-month-old submission. This should just go to show you, like, when I say I haven't looked, I haven't looked. That same person I had I saw at another con and I gave him a bunch of books and I had him submit them for me. That was just, I gave him a few months ago, but by the time he got them in, it was probably just three or 4 weeks ago, and it looks like that's what these are. So the good news is, this will be fun, I think. The bad news is, I thought this was going to be a box of Silver Age Silver Surfers. I guess I haven't learned that much, have I? All right, so here's another one. So, of course, we need the 9.8 because if I ever, I'm going to sell these. 9.6, 3 9.6s. Yeah. I mean, let's get right down. I'm guessing in today's market, a 9.6 is worth what I submitted it for, give or take. So, that's not exciting. Okay, all right. Let's see what we got here. And so I think that's part of again, the difference is what I was saying. So I'm looking at these now more as like not keeping them up. If I only get 198 of the Barkman, I'm going to keep it. Okay, I don't want to, mislead anybody. But the purpose of this submission was to pay for the last big submission, right? And so far, I'm not doing good because 396s are probably $150 total. You know what I mean? All right, looks like we got another Barkman to the rescue, and that's strike. Is that strike 4? Yeah, that's 1 out of 5. Like I said, like all I can tell you is I've never read the books. I mean, they've never been opened. They've been in bags and boards for, however long, 25 years. But that being said, it doesn't take much, right? And so I'd be shocked if any of these are below a 9.6 just because they shouldn't be. I would have speculated, if you wanted my honest opinion, that instead of being 1 for 5, I'd be at least 3 for 5. But let's see what we got here. Oh yeah. Bam! Ouchie, ouchie. Alright. Maybe I'll sell the 9.8 and keep this one since, I guess, that's a loser, I guess, right? That's a loser. Alright. So far, not so good, guys. Alright, let's see what we got. Alright, so 1, 2. Wow. Alright, now, look, I don't want to, but the conversation that was had when I submitted these was I was only looking to submit 9.8 candidates. This book should have come back to me. I don't know what's wrong with it. When I look at it, it doesn't look like a 9.0, but obviously there's something somewhere, and I'm sure there's notes somewhere, possibly. But either way, something that comes back as a 9.0 when you're looking for a 9.8, when you use, now if I did it, well, that's one thing, but when you're using somebody that's a pro, they know what a 9.0 is relative to a 9.8. They might not know you're going to get a 9.8, but they know you're not going to. All right, well, it looks like we got all Simpsons all the time. Let's see what we got here. Well, wonders never cease. Okay, so, 6 months ago that was probably worth something. Not going to complain, but I got a 9.8, so I'm happy with that. But I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2 out of 8, 25%. I'm going to say for books that have never been read and for, were submitted for the sole purpose of getting a 9.8, I'm not a big fan of doing that pre-screen just because I think it's a waste of money. However, so far so hasn't this been, right? So maybe the pre-screen is why it works, is because there's enough people that have done this. All right, look familiar? All right, we're on a roll. Let's keep it going. All right, let's hope when I look that up that's worth like 10,000, 20,000, maybe more, right? All right, let's see what we got. All right, I kind of saw this one, but I don't know what it is, so. All right, so this one is Daredevil 180, and if I remember correctly, I should have my glasses, shouldn't I? Well, this is a run, so the rest of these might be Daredevils. I did a bunch that are, semi worth money. 8.5. All right, so this wasn't expected per se to be a 9.8, but probably closer to that 9.4, So, I don't know, I'll have to look to see what that's worth. I can't remember if that's good or bad, or, I just, 9.8 definitely. Like, look, if it was a Fantastic Four 48, 8.5, rock and roll, right? All right, looks like I'm back on The Simpsons. That's weird that was mixed in like that. All right, rock and roll. At least I didn't get schniked, right? I wasn't completely on the schneid. All right, so let's see what we got. Oh, all right. The good news is we have some sellable comics. Bad news is that I don't have any, I've never sold a comic in my life, so we'll figure that out later, right? One step at a time. Oh, back to Daredevil. Let's see if I can do this without. All right, so this one here is just a Kingpin appearance. I'm not sure why I thought this one was worth a few bucks, but this is Daredevil 185. I'm not a Daredevil reader, so these I would have purchased just for spec. All right, looks like Daredevil and 8.5 is the theme. Let's hope 8.5 doesn't stick. All right, I probably showed you that one, sorry about that. All right, so this one here is Daredevil 186. Oh, things are getting gnarly. 8.0, which one is this one? Well, it's all part of that ride. I got more coming, I'm sure, because I gave them a bunch of Daredevils, so I'm guessing that they all went in there. You know what this means is that second box that I've got upstairs, that second box might not be my original submission. That would really suck. I mean, that would definitely suck. All right, so this one here is Daredevil 188. Oh, 7.0. I was definitely not expecting 9.8, right? I wouldn't have been upset about a couple 9.2s, right? I mean, maybe 9.4s. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe they stunk when I bought them. I don't know. Apparently so. All right. So now we have Daredevil. Is that another? Did I just do 188? Is that the same comic? Yep. Got two of them. Let's see if I got luckier. Oh, we finally hit the 9-bagger. Kabam. All right. So I don't know. Maybe that's good, maybe it's not. I gotta look that up and find out. But all I can tell you is 9. Oh, did I just ruin that? Did you see that one? Well, can you tell me what it was? All right, so this is 197. Oh, wow. We're starting to move up a little. So I don't think this is a super gnarly book or anything, but 9.2 is better than, did I get a 7.0 in there or something? Something like that, I don't know. All right, so let's see what we got here. Turn this baby around a little. And we got Daredevil 169. Oh, what do we got? 7.5. That one's a better book. That's got Bullseye, but maybe 7.5 is good. Like maybe I've got lofty expectations on those ones, right? I was going to mention one of the mistakes I've made multiple times now with submissions. Note to self, and this is a solicited piece of advice to everybody. Today's technology, right? You're not using film, you're not using anything. It takes 2 seconds, right? Every book that you submit, just take a picture, with your cell phone of the front and the back, or scan it, right, front and back, and then look, maybe you can't do that if you're in the business and you're submitting hundreds of thousands, but if you're just a chump like me, I would recommend it. Then you might have an idea. And plus, you know, sometimes these 9.6s, you think you sent it out at 9.8. Anybody makes a mistake. CGC can mishandle a book very easily, just like we do. So, anyway, we've got Daredevil 181. So that one's actually a good book. I think that's the first appearance of Bullseye. And it's got obviously Elektra on there as well. 7.5. I know 181's a good book. I don't know if 7.5 you know, takes it out of that, hey, it's worth a couple bucks. But that, I have to be honest with you. Cool. All right, what do we got? 182. Well, we got back in the 9s again. You know, so I think, is that the death of Elektra? Well, it must be, or give or take, but all right, 9.0, better than 7.5. So I don't know if any of these are worth, and I apologize for being a little off because I honestly thought I was opening up Silver Surfer books, and that first Radioactive Man, I'm like, oh, maybe I just, you know, it was mixed in, and so now I'm just like completely discombobulated. All right, so let's see what we got. That is 183, 9.2, okay. You know, I mean, again, if I were prepared, if I knew this was a submission, I would have looked just to see what some of these are worth. I could even look at my phone now to see, except for my video camera as well. So I can't. All right, well, there's a couple more in there, so I thought this was it, but, let's throw a 9.8 in the mix, wanna? All right, so this is Daredevil 184. 8.5. Punisher appearance is all it says. And, you know, I have to be honest, these books are a little bit older, so when I bought them, you know, they possibly, not possibly, they probably definitely were, you know, not off the shelf, if you will. They were probably in a box, you know, a long box somewhere. So who knows what the condition was. I don't even know why I bought them. I mean, Daredevil's a great character. He's just, you know, not someone that I read. So, you know, there's something about those that made me go, oh, that's a spec, you know. That was 30 years ago. So I have trouble remembering yesterday. All right, so this looks like 168. 7.5. Now Elektra, once he loved her, now she is his most deadly enemy. How can he be a deadly enemy if she didn't kill him? Anyway, well, she's dead. That's it, folks. All right, so, all right, I'm going to say that when it comes to those Daredevils, that I wasn't super high grades, right? I definitely was not. When it comes to the Simpsons, anything, whether it's Radioactive Man or the Simpsons, I was. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 5 to 12, 9.8s. The other 9.6s, so 5 9.8s, 5 9.6s, a 9.4 and a 9.0. I'm going to call that, as far as those go, a failed submission. I'm not saying that I should have got 8 out of 10 or whatever. I'm just saying that the ratio is going to be a little higher. And, you know, my fault, anybody's fault. No blame. I'm just saying that stinks. I don't know if it's CGC. I don't know if, you know, if I thought they were better than they were or not. However, you know, now I have ones, I'm not married to any of these books, okay? So, The Simpsons, who doesn't, right? So I'll probably keep, you know, 1 or 2 for the personal collection. However, I'm going to see if I can dabble a little bit in eBay, see if I can figure out how to sell a book or 2. and we'll see if these are worth selling. The Daredevils, again, you know, if there's no specific value to them, like if there's a 7.5 and it's worth $40, I'm not going to sell it because I'm just not into for something that cost me $50 or $60 or whatever it costs. You know what I mean? I'm not looking to just recoup that or whatever. I'd rather actually give it to a Daredevil fan who doesn't have it than I think you follow me. You know what I mean? Like I'd rather somebody that really wants that book and has been searching for it. I'd rather give it to them for, you know, for free or thereabouts than go through the process. However, if any of those 8.5s and 9s have any value, I might sell them. All right, so now the question is, what's in that next box? And I think, you know, I have a list here. I got some notes here. I had a list of like, all right, you know, what are my mistakes? What mistakes have I made in grading? Boy, do I got to add to that list. Or actually, not grading, submitting. You know, the grading is subjective. This submission was for the modern books. I'm going to call the Daredevil, you know, bronze, even though they're probably under the modern category now. For the modern books, I was expecting good results. So good results to me would have been based on what I was doing. You know, I flipped through books to make sure 8 out of 12. The fact that I got 5, not so good. The fact that I got a 9.0 is like, I mean, silly. A 9.4, you know, you get those in there. 9.6 is, look, we all know a 9.6 isn't a bad book. It's just kind of like that behind the door kicking it butt, you know. All right, listen, you know, this went longer than it probably should have. I hope that you didn't mind and that I appreciate your patience. And if I've made 50 more mistakes that you're familiar with, just let me know. It'll be fun. All right, signing off and thanks.